Hi, I'm Megan Story, and this is my case study for EDL 851. So, section 1, to summarize the case, the principal noticed that one teacher, Mrs. Stevens, was particularly having difficulty with her students. They were disengaged. They were not very involved. She was having trouble with classroom management, daily routines, and upon observation, Mrs. Stevens, when they met, was hostile and not open to suggestions. She retorted that there was no conclusive research because she felt like the evaluation that she was receiving lacked all fundamentals for her, as the principal did not observe her appropriately because he lacked leadership. This observation depends on the rehiring of Mrs. Stevens. This was the second observation, and so the principal did not give any feedback after the second observation, which the meeting occurred between Mrs. Stevens and the principal. Like I said, was about her not getting rehired. She was upset and stated the principal didn't offer any advice to improve and believes that the supervision of the school failed her instead of her failing her students. She also mentioned that she would go to court if needed. There were I did not feel like there was any physical harm done. Mrs. Stevens will not be rehired. Proof will likely be needed by the principal, especially if she goes to court. No laws are broken, no breach of contract, no discrimination. Mrs. Stevens, a general education teacher, feels that she has been wronged by the lack of supervision from administration and is not having her contract renewed based on two observations where students were disengaged, showing evidence that she's lacking fundamental practice of high quality teaching. Synthesize the facts. So people were the principal, that was a male, teacher Mrs. Stevens, students, place is unknown, program is unknown. We also don't know how many walkthroughs were completed or how much administration spends time in Mrs. Stevens' room or expectations. And so conflict is damaging to leadership. Conflict has the potential to be damaging to stakeholders in the community if an equal to or a lesser quality teacher is hired and the position is left vacant. There is enough information to make a formative decision moving forward, but input would be needed from the superintendent or a legal team if the courts were involved. So the first consideration is to take no action, allow Mrs. Stevens to continue to see what happens. Second consideration is continue observation, provide adequate feedback with the opportunity for growth. Put her on an improvement plan, monitor the plan, see if there's growth, and if there's not, no longer rehire. Third considerations are to let her go instantly, bring in a long-term sub, provide a mentor, do more walkthroughs, state explicit instructions of expectations. Then, to evaluate. First, consider take no action. So the pros of this, there aren't any. Students are not being successful or not gaining anything. So low quality teachers, usually a kid misses out on almost a year of instruction and she would get reprimanded for not showing growth. Second considerations, follow the principal's recommendation of non-renewal, provide feedback to allow for opportunity for growth or an improved plan. This would build trust with your teachers, allow for collaboration and communication to know the expectations. She would be able to keep her job. But cons of this would be an internal struggle with yourself as the principal, lack of trust among staff. Third consideration, seek advice from other administrators, seek advice from other stakeholders, appoint a mentor, appoint a new teacher, or quit. Pros, new viewpoint, establish new goals for staff, start fresh for students and Ms. Stevens. Cons, this is not going to be handled well with staff. Usually they align together, but you may not be able to hire a better teacher at the time either. Choose the best option. So the best decision that a principal can implement under these circumstances is to put Mrs. Stevens on a one-year improvement plan. With that being said, principals need to monitor Mrs. Stevens' teaching evaluations regularly to have actionable feedback with suggestions to promote improvement in school success. Document everything with Mrs. Stevens so that you can report to the superintendent or the human resources director in case you are not rehiring her after the one-year improvement plan. Make sure to gather all information on instructional expectations. And then, last but not least, speak with a superintendent and human resources director to cover all your bases. Send out a survey for staff and see what they can help you with ideas or strategies to help you and them feel like they're supported in their supervision and evaluation. Allow staff to complete peer observations in their classrooms so that opens the level of communication for different grade levels and contents. And then walk through professional learning development with a school setting to allow your district to know what their instructional expectations are. Thank you.